What is a spin qubit, I think, is the question.
There's two ways to approach this. There's the very bottom up way, where you start with the physical spin qubit, or there's a top down way, which is you start with a silicon chip. Let's start with the bottom up way, because that's the fundamental question. What is a spin qubit? So a spin qubit is an electron orientated in a magnetic field. And you can view that electron similar to this NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance. That electron behaves as like a tiny bar magnet. Similar to the magnets or a compass needle, on planet Earth, it wants to align with the magnetic field, right? Your compass needle wants to point north. Kind of similar feel with your electron. It either wants to be spin pointing up or spin pointing down. And up, let's say, aligned with the magnetic field, or down against it. And those are your two quantum states. Those are your two bits: spin up, spin down, 0, 1. Now, the hard part is, well, okay, great. And I think, like, arguably, you could say this is probably like one of nature's most fundamental qubit. You can't get smaller than an electron spin qubit. Then the hard part is, okay, how do I isolate an individual electron? Like, good luck. And that's where the silicon comes in. That's where we come in as a company, which is you look at the transistors on your desk, the transistors in your phone. Those are basically tiny, tiny switches. You've got like 50 billion transistors in your pocket right now that allow you to control billions of electrons flowing across them per second. And that's on or off. The current's flowing, the electrons are flowing, transistor's on, current's not flowing, electrons stop flowing. Off. And it's like, okay, can I turn that into a quantum bit? I got billions of electrons flowing, but I only need one electron. And the genius part of spin qubits is if I just slightly modify my transistor to give me a bit more control over the flow of electrons and still keep the same semiconductor process that prints trillions of these transistors every day, but just say, look, let's just kind of tune this transistor, kind of like Fast and Furious. You tune up a car, add a bit of NOS or whatever. Yeah, but very small, very small. Can I start isolating individual electrons? The answer is literally, yeah, you can. And the trick is basically a transistor works on having what's known as a gate electrode. It gates the flows of gates the flow of electrons going from one side of the transistor to the other. If you add a few more gates, you can basically start to isolate electrons between these gates. Well, it's not between, they're physically underneath these gates. All of these gates is all controlled by standard voltages, classical electronics. So no lasers, no vacuum, same way your electronics work now. And if you finely tune the voltages you apply to those gates, you can isolate an electron. You can make it jump to the left, jump to the right. You can have it sit there for, what seems like an eternity in the quantum world. In reality, it's not that long. I mean, we're talking like milliseconds. But because going back to, your point on operation speed, you can get that electron to flip between state 0 and 1 on the order of nanoseconds. Your gate speed is on the order of nanoseconds. So if you have milliseconds of your electron living in this quantum world that you've built for it, you can do thousands and thousands of operations within that time. And that's your spin qubit.
All right, so what did we just watch right there?
We watched Thinking on Paper, bite-sized, a shot of technological tequila to your prefrontal cortex. It's just a taster, a smorgasbord of what awaits you with the full Thinking on Paper interviews. There really is nothing like it out there at the moment, connecting the dots of all these technologies. So subscribe where you're listening, check the long-former interviews out, and remember, stay curious.
Be disruptive.
Keep thinking on paper.